Hello, my name is Cadet Panasu Park, and this is my route planning brief. So, a little about the situation. Our mission is to go from the patrol base to the RP to conduct an ambush on this enemy element moving south on this LDA. It is currently summertime, so we expect there to be heavy vegetation, and also because of the warming temperatures, we expect the rivers and creeks to be full of water. So we want to avoid creeks as much as possible, also LDAs as much as possible. Before this is North Torbian controlled territory, we expect an enemy presence on these roads, LDAs right here. So the platoon leader has requested me, the squad leader, to develop a primary and alternate route plan to get from the patrol base to the RP. This brief will go over only the primary, which is outlined in a solid black line, and has 4 checkpoints. This primary route is about 6.7 kilometers in total, and we expect it to take about 7 hours to complete the entire route. So from the patrol base to checkpoint 1 is a distance of about 1.1 kilometers. It'll take about an hour to move, and we will be in a file. Reason behind this because we expect there to be almost no enemy presence here, and we want to increase our mobility to get from the patrol base to the checkpoint as soon as possible. The way we'll be connecting this leg is to just follow the incline. As you can see, patrol base is at a rather low point relative to checkpoint 1, which is actually at a high point, the summit actually of a hill at elevation 1,745 meters. So all we have to do is follow the incline. From checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 2 is a distance of about 1.2 kilometers. It'll take about an hour and a half of movement. We will be in a squad, column, fire team, wedge, and traveling. And this is because we're going, even though we're coming from an area of not very likely enemy contact, we're going to an LDA, which may have an enemy presence. So we want to have some security. The way we'll be conducting this leg is just following the spur downhill until we reach the LDA. If we reach the LDA at this point, we can just handrail it to checkpoint 2. Going from checkpoint 2 to checkpoint 3 is a distance of about 1.3 kilometers. This will take about an hour and a half of movement. The primary movement technique we'll be using is a squad, column, fire team, wedge, and traveling. This is because we're coming from an LDA to another LDA, which are both highly possible places of enemy contact. So we want to have formation that's relatively secure, but also has a good deal of mobility associated with it. The primary way we'll be conducting this leg is shooting an azimuth of 124 degrees. It doesn't have to be exact with really, because these LDs right here are catching features. So no matter if we go over or under, these LDAs can catch us, and we will be able to find our way back using these LDAs as handrails to get to checkpoint 3. From checkpoint 3 to checkpoint 4 is a distance of 1.4 kilometers, and we'll be in a file. And this is because even though we're coming from a LDA which may have an enemy presence, we're going to a spot where there's almost no enemy presence at all. Also because this part right here is relatively steep, so we want to increase our mobility as much as possible. The way we'll be cutting this leg is just following the incline, just going from checkpoint 3 to checkpoint 4. This is because checkpoint 4 is at a high point, is actually at the summit of a hill with elevation 1,717 meters. So yeah, going from checkpoint 4 to the ORP is a distance of 1.7 kilometers, and we will be in a squad, column, fire team, wedge, and traveling overwatch. The reason behind this increase in security is because we will be handrailing an LDA the entire time, and this LDA may have an enemy presence. Also because we are approaching the ORP, which is our primary place where we expect the enemy to be located at. So we want to have a formation that is relatively secure, but also has some mobility associated with it, because bounding overwatch wouldn't really be practical because this movement is again 1.7 kilometers. The way we will be connecting this leg is using this LDA right here as a handrail. This concludes my route plan brief. Are there any questions?